Okay. Peace and blessings, everybody. Is Anna Renee, your love power goddess, coming to you this wonderful afternoon here. Trying to set it up a little bit better. Welcome, welcome, Capricorn. How are you all doing? Blessings, blessings. Izoko. Welcome, welcome, Izoko. I'm curious about what it is that you do for a living. Not that I'm kind of old to even be considering it, but it just seems so funky, fresh, and cool. I would like to know a little bit more about it at some point in time. I'm doing some research just to know. But anyway, that's just me being curious. I can't even see my 60-year-old self. Anyway, let's not go there. Blessings to each and everybody out here in the streets, these Capricorn streets. How are you all doing? Yes, I'm here once again. I said I was going to be doing these videos, these live streams just 3 times a week rather than trying to do more than I can, you know, twice a day, 2 days in a row. That was biting off more than I could chew. And that's something that's part of my issues, as I have learned. You need to chill. But anyway, my people, Capricorn in the house. Blessings to each and every one of you all. Thank you all for checking out the Mastery channel where we are doing our spiritual work. We are trying to grow ourselves up. We're trying to grow up. We're trying to be grown people up in here. Let me hook this up because it's going to get warm. We're trying to be grown people up in here. Can you hear that? Can you hear my fan? I hope it's not too loud because I need it. But anywho, you know what? Because I'm forever wearing turtleneck sweaters. But what can you do? Let's see if I can make this do a little bit better. All right. So, yes, my people, let's get right to it. All right. You know what? We've been having this strong weather here in my part of town, here in Oakland, California. And I'm a amateur gardener. I got some things growing back there. Did not water my plants strongly enough, thoroughly enough. And I'm thinking I'm trying to grow watermelon. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that you really ought not to be trying to do when you live here in Oakland, California. But of course, being the stubborn person that I am, I'm trying anyway. But it has been super dry, and it's part of what we get over here, and that's part of why we have the wildfires and everything. Terribly dry. I went out there this morning, no leaves. The entire watermelon plant, no leaves. All the leaves shriveled up. But I have one watermelon. I had all the juice from the other two, the one. And I got baby watermelon, so they're small. But that's how dry it gets over here. It's a trip. It's a trip. And because of that, we have what they do of this rolling blackout where they just turn the electricity, they turn the grid off when a city looks like it might go and get lit. It might light up. They'll just turn the electricity right off. And I got a message on my phone warning me that that was a possibility in my county and a whole bunch of other counties. But anyway, what am I talking about that? Let's get to the point. Capricorn. I thought that I wasn't going to have electricity is what I'm saying it for. I would have just used my phone instead. My people, sun in Capricorn. Okay, we're going to do the sun in Capricorn as we usually do, and the moon in Capricorn. And we're just trying to learn what it is that we're into, what we're doing, how the sun in Capricorn energy works. Plus, I got a little bonus. I got a list of our favorite stars, celebrities who are Capricorns. Might be interesting. You might not know who these Capricornian people are, you know? And I notice a pattern with these particular people who are Capricorns. But anyway, the essence of Capricorn is living through building. You know, it's always living, as I keep saying, when we're dealing with the sun energy. The sea goat is what they're calling this animal. I thought, well, we call it the goat, but some people call it the sea goat. And then the pragmatist is also what it's about. So Capricorn is concerned with making a success of life. Okay, that's very important for the Capricornian energy. This could be said of any sign, of course, but you aim to do this by getting the hang of how things actually work. Okay, down here on planet Earth, you're very earthbound as a Capricorn. You want to know what's real. Okay, you want to do what's real and what's necessary. Okay, you are therefore a decidedly down to earth person who won't cling to abstract concepts and lofty ideals in order to justify being here. I like that. You know, you don't need to consult the gurus to say you deserve your place on the earth. Okay, it's real for you, Capricorn. Reality is what you're here for. You know, you don't need a Sadhguru's permission to exist. Okay, and that's cool. That's cool. I like that about you. I guess I like that about myself. Okay, what satisfies this urge in you is a sense of purpose and responsibility. You feel a part of this world when you can feel its weight upon your shoulders and its ground beneath your feet. You want to feel it, the weight of the world on your shoulders and the power of the earth under your feet. You are a realist, okay? Traditionally, you are interested in external, socially established values of life rather than inner ones, okay? To be honest, you assess anything or anyone in terms of how useful they are. As your sign symbol, the mountain goat, implies, you make your way to the summit of material success by taking one sure footed step after another, okay? You fix your attention on a vantage point and secure it. Sometimes a foothold can be someone else's head. Okay. You're serious about yours, huh, Capricorn? If someone puts their head under your foot, that's not your fault, is it? Not really. And as you build your pile, you want solid value and solid values. With regard to what you consume, you like the right brand names, okay? And to have a sense of belonging to the upper echelons of society, okay? You're a social climber. At least in terms of how your particular section of society currently sees itself. However, you are far more complex than this and have more subtlety than to be concerned solely with the outside world and what can be got out of it. An attitude that runs the danger of acquiring a blind spot. This can be seen by looking at the original sign of Capricorn, the sea goat. This creature is half goat and half fish. Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, you don't see that too much, that particular symbol. You just see the just straight up goat these days. But yeah, it used to be half goat, half fish. All right. The upper or the goat half represents what has been described above, the earthy and persistent climber. But when the climber stumbles or falls, or just begins to realize that there is more to life than can be physically sensed, you begin to acquaint yourself with that other world of the fish, the mystical, irrational, unconscious inner realm. And when Capricorn gets spiritual, it does so with the same pragmatic efficiency with which it dealt with the material world, okay? In fact, at an evolved level, you do not see any difference between those two worlds, the material world and a water world, or the inner realm world. And so you okay. And so you come to realize how truly useful an awareness of the reality of invisible forces such as thoughts, feelings, and most importantly, the imagination is. And that roots and foundations upon which everything is actually built are usually out of sight. True that. The Capricorn who does not tune into her fish half and the watery realm in which it dwells can slip up on it and smell decidedly fishy. Okay, so they're trying to say that the earth sign Capricorn is kind of watery. All right. Well, everything blends into everything else. Everything flows into everything else. Everything is affected by everything else. All right. The Capricorn who does not tune into his or her fish half and the watery realm in which it dwells can slip up on it and smell decidedly fishy, like Richard Nixon. You guys, you young people know the story of Richard Nixon, President Richard Nixon, and how he was impeached because of Watergate, some kind of dirty dealings that he was caught up in back in the 70s. You know what? Yeah, it was quite embarrassing back in those old days, right? So, Richard Nixon, who was undone by something called Watergate. Watergate. Fishy. Okay, I got it. But when and if you are practically attuned to the underlying mystical realities of life on earth, rather than just being superstitious, then you are truly able to reach the pinnacle of earthly success, the highest point from which the next step up is heaven. A little bit of which you can then bring down to earth with which to guide and govern. Okay, my people, we're going to do the transformer, but first I want to interrupt that by telling you guys, giving you a whole long list of celebrities who are actually Capricorns. There are a lot. There are a lot of people who are Capricorns, who are celebrities, okay? I'm gonna list all of these people and their birthdays, okay? Ryan Seacrest, 1224, John Legend, 1228, Denzel Washington, we know that, 1228, Diane von Furstenberg for our fashion conscious people, 1231, Blue Ivy Carter, you know that, right? January 7th, Nicolas Cage, those who are actors and love good actors, okay? January 7th, Michelle Obama, January 17th, we know that. Ellen DeGeneres, January 20th, okay? Gail King, I forgot to write the birthday down. Oprah's Gail. LeBron James, 1230. Muhammad Ali, January 17th, we knew that, right? MLK, Martin Luther King Jr., January 15th, we know that. Tiger Woods, 1230, okay? The Baby, you guys know who that is. I have no idea, but I've heard the name, but I don't quite know who it is. But The Baby is 1222. Aaliyah, we remember the beautiful Aaliyah, right? January 16th for Aaliyah. Gabby Douglas, 1231. R. Kelly, January 8th, okay? Jean-Michel Basquiat, 1222. Yeah, he was born a day after me. He was born in 1960. Probably not even a full day. My birthday is 1221. His was 1222. And see, I'm a Sagittarius and he's a Capricorn, or was a Capricorn, right? But yeah, 1222 for Jean-Michel Basquiat. James Earl Jones, who played in the movie Claudine with what was her name? I forgot. Anyway, James Earl Jones' birthday is January 17th. There's a whole lot There's a whole lot of these people. Now, who is this? Polo G. What? Polo G? I don't even know who that is. But anyway, January 6th for Polo G. George Foreman, okay, January 10th. Cuba Gooding Jr. You guys remember Cuba Gooding? Or are you guys too young for Cuba Gooding? Okay. Cuba Gooding, January 2nd. LL Cool J. You guys know LL Cool J, right? January 14th for him. Sade Adu. Okay, you guys know who Sade is, right? January 16th for Sade. Shonda Rhimes. You guys know who Shonda Rhimes is, right? Shonda Rhimes. January 13th for Shonda Rhimes. Joe Frazier, the boxer. January 12th. Issa Rae, your favorite and ours, right? Issa Rae. January 12th for Issa Rae. Madam C.J. Walker, okay? She was born on 12/23 back in like 1867, right? Now, for the revolutionaries, Afeni Shakur, Tupac's mother, January 10th, okay? And George Washington Carver was born on January 1st back, it was in 18 something, I'm pretty sure. A whole huge amount of Capricorns. A lot of, we got a lot of athletes who are Capricorns, like LeBron James, Muhammad Ali, Tiger Woods, okay? I think Gabby Douglas is an athlete, right? Okay, George Foreman, okay. Joe Frazier. A lot of boxers are Capricorn. That's interesting, okay? So, my people, I just want to throw that out at you so you can have something to reference. Actors and artists and athletes tells you something about the energy of Capricorn. They're about getting it done, putting in that work and getting it done, right? All right, so let's do the transformer in the sun in Capricorn, okay? Positives are materially aware, responsible, efficient, and orderly. The negative, a status slave, unscrupulous, ingratiating in a wet blanket, unscrupulous. That's interesting. They'll put in that work, but if they're on the dark side, they might go a little bit beyond, what's correct to get that work in. Unscrupulous. All right. So what's going on with that? Why are you so unscrupulous, Capricorn? You backed the wrong horse, made your bed and having a lie in it, only cold comfort available. You went the wrong direction, Capricorn. Now you gotta lay in the bed that you made. Oh my goodness. You got to do the right thing. You can't, don't do the negative stuff or else you're going to have to deal with your consequences. It's not no good thing. It's always better to be good. Okay. So your solution would be to apply your talents to what is inferior. Oh, okay. Let's see. If you apply your talents to what is inferior and you go down, do so to what is superior and you go up. His is so basic. It always is just so straightforward. Okay. You do the right thing, you get success. You do the wrong thing and you get failure. It is. And you know what? It is kind of straightforward and basic like that. Apply your talents to what is inferior, Capricorn, and you go down. Okay. You fall off the side of the mountain. Okay. You lose your footing as that goat. All right. But if you connect to what is superior, all right, then you'll just go up. You'll be climbing and climbing, climbing and climbing. More positives, okay? Ambitious, you're an organizer, you're industrious, and you take the reins, meaning that you take control and lead the situation. The negatives could be that you are cold and calculating. You're a slave to yourself, and you're dictatorial. I was married to, my second husband was a Capricorn. Okay. The problem, the warm smell of success becomes an icy blast. Alone in your ivory tower with a white elephant. I tell you, this guy, this author, and his parables, I tell you what, the warm smell of success becomes an icy blast. You're alone in your ivory tower, Capricorn, with a white elephant. There's a meaning to the white elephant. I'm not going to look it up, okay? So what your solution could be is, indeed, ambition is the devil's own sin, unless you strive in a spirit of redemption. Okay. You can be ambitious, but you got to be careful about that ambition. Don't let the ambition rule you. Don't do no devilish deeds, Capricorn, just to get yourself going up that ladder. Okay, be careful where you plant your little hooves. Okay, be careful about that, Capricorn. All right. So positives: reserved, you're patient, you're thoughtful, and you're deep in your understanding. You have a deep understanding, but you're inhibited, intolerant, worrisome, and inscrutable. Now, I'm getting ready to look up that word, inscrutable. I got to see what that means, okay? You're inhibited, you're worried, worrisome.
Here's the definition of worrisome: causing anxiety or concern.
Inscrutable.
Here's the definition of inscrutable: impossible to understand or interpret.
Okay. You're impossible. You got a poker face, I guess. So you got to be careful about that too, Capricorn. All right. What could be the problem? What's going on? Nobody knows you, and they've almost given up trying to know you. Okay. All right. So when you begin to appreciate, the solution would be, when you begin to appreciate fully your invisible qualities, so will others. Your invisible qualities, Capricorn. That's interesting. So I guess a Capricorn is someone who might not know themselves very well because they're so focused on going up that ladder, climbing the success ladder and stuff like that. They don't look within. I guess that's what the beginning of this thing was saying, the fish part, the inner part, the emotional part. You got to know that part too, okay? You do have the power to move forward and keep trucking and achieve, as this long list of people that I just named shows, that Capricorn has that energy of achieving and really achieving on a high level, okay? But the inners, the emotionals, okay, you got to get those in order as well. It's always that way, all right? So, more positives for Capricorn Sun. You're resourceful. Okay, did I say that already? No. Resourceful, canny, persevering, and disciplined. But the negatives will be that you're tight, you're suspicious. I remember that, the suspicious part, in my second marriage. Wow. Rigid and austere. I'm not trying to clown. I'm just saying that person was a real Capricorn, very suspicious. I wasn't doing nothing, okay? But being my flamboyant, weird, and wacky self. That's all I was doing, you know? That looks suspicious to him. Anyway, so what's the problem? Life becomes existence. Work becomes drudge. Body becomes stiff. Friend become foe. It's too stiff. You gotta flow. You gotta open up. You can't be so tight. You can't. You gotta enjoy life. We all do. We all gotta enjoy our lives. Okay. So what you can do? What can you do to? So what's the solution to this mess, Capricorn? I should probably be focusing on myself a little bit since I have a lot of Capricorn energy, but I don't feel like I'm resonating with this. I don't know. I'm not a really good reader for Sagittarius and Capricorn, I'm finding. I guess it's too close to home. I need to meditate on this a little more, I guess. The Capricorn can get by on the smell of an oily rag, but only when it has to. Now, what in the world? The Capricorn can get by on the smell of an oily rag, but only if it has to. I guess they're saying that the Capricorn can make do with the least and the littlest amount, but they don't want to do that. But they could if they needed to. They would prefer to have the riches and the quality. Okay. All right, more positives. Earthy, senses others' needs, employs others, and you're solid. But in a negative, you are a Philistine. I guess they're talking about the Philistines of the Bibles who were kind of wicked and mean and evil. The Philistines in the Bible, they were oppressors, what they were. So are they saying that a Capricorn can be something like an oppressor if they're pushed against the wall? They think they need to be that? I guess. I don't know. Philistine, okay. Opportunist, okay. Uses others and hard. I guess that's what they are saying, okay. To get that thing that they're trying to get, they will go all the way to the wall with it, even if they have to crush somebody to do it. In the negative energy, okay. And you become really hard with that because you're so focused, Capricorn, on trying to reach your goals that you are willing to do almost anything to do this. But that turns around and bites you in the backside, okay. So the problem could be that what started out as a good living has turned into a monster that cannot be satisfied. What started out as a good living has turned into a monster that can't be satisfied. I don't even know what to say to that, okay? I don't even know what you can say to that. I don't even understand that. I don't ever understand anything. I'm trying, my people. What has started out as a good living? I guess you become oppressed by your good living because, what is it, the good living? What are you doing to create this good living? Are you oppressing people to get this good living? In that case, yeah, I guess it could turn into a monster that can't be satisfied, all right? Or it could be that you are so into the money that you earn or whatever, the graces that you get or whatever, that you are greedy for more and more and more and more and more. I guess, what's going on? What's the solution with this? Flood the market and you drown the demand. Elevate people's needs rather than increase them. Okay. All right. I'm telling you. I am telling you. All right. So that's the sun in Capricorn. So we're going to do the moon in Capricorn too. I'm almost scared to look at it. I'm almost scared to look at it, my people. Maybe the moon energy in Capricorn might be really nice, okay? Might be really good. Let's see. Not to say that the sun energy is bad. It's just that in a negative, you might go a little bit too far. You might do a little bit too much if you become desperate. It seems like desperation or something to get that good life or whatever it is you're trying to get. So don't let that take over in your life, son. So let's see. Moon, okay? Security through building. All right? The need to be needed. The end justifies the means. The end justifies the means. Moon in Capricorn, what is that? Okay. I hope that's not more of the same. So, security through building. Okay. Looked like something just happened there. Security is built upon a base of being useful to society and seeking justification in its eyes, for better or for worse. Such a need can incline you to undervalue what you want from and for yourself. This in turn can lead to feeling unloved, unwanted, or inferior in some way. This is why the moon is said to be in its detriment in Capricorn. Okay. It's in the detriment in Capricorn. For seeking external approval to allay inner doubts proves detrimental to your personality as a whole. Okay. Seeking those external approvals because you have doubts within yourself messes up your entire personality. Okay. Whether it shows or not, you have a great need to be needed. So others come to rely on you to keep things together materially in some way. Okay. You have a great need to be needed. It's similar to the having a great need to be needed. All right. This can make you indispensable, but if having this need met means losing sight of your inner worth, you can wind up feeling a bit of a slave. In other words, by not trusting the importance of your own inner value and subscribing to those that outside pressures seem to dictate, you are in danger of feeling let down, both by yourself and the state of affairs around you. Moon in Capricorn, okay? However, it is important to recognize how and why this distrust of your inner self occurred in the first place and subsequently create a distrust of others. Okay? You're distrusting yourself, and so because you feel that distrust within yourself, you distrust others. There's a huge distrust element in the sign of Capricorn. And personally, when I think about it, I do have a little bit of issues with the distrust, even though I'm not really a Capricorn. I'm only on the cusp of it. But I do have that issue. I need to read this again. However, it is important to recognize how and why this distrust of your inner self, distrust of my inner self, occurred in the first place and subsequently created a distrust of others. Okay, why is it? Okay, it's a hot day, people. Excuse me because I'm always boiling in this little corner over here. But anyway, the moon symbolizes the child, both literally and in the sense of the child within. Capricorn is the sign that governs the big, bad world out there. Really? Concrete or man-made reality. So the moon is not happy in Capricorn. Okay, yes. The moon is not happy in Capricorn. It's a detriment in Capricorn. But it's at the height in Cancer, which is the complete opposite of Capricorn. What is it? There's a word that they use, but it's highly regarded in Cancer because it's the ruler of Cancer. But yeah, the moon in Capricorn is a detriment. All right. The moon is not happy in Capricorn. For the child is thrust harshly into the material world. This can mean that you literally had a hard or deprived childhood. Okay. Burdens were piled upon your small shoulders. Austere and oppressive surroundings were your lot. There may have been something lacking in your father or a lack of him altogether. And this could have cast a shadow over your mother, oh boy, that was passed on to you in some way. Now, this can't be the case for all Capricorns, you know? Hmm. Moon in Capricorn, okay. But it sounds kind of depressive, depressing. Anyway, whatever your childhood circumstances, you learned through their material or emotional difficulties to become a survivor. Yes. The most likely expression of this survivorship is being able to function well in the material world as a way of compensating for that inner emotional blight. Such a shrewd and businesslike streak can take you far up the socio-economic ladder, yes, but at some stage, the outer trappings that you have built up around you can no longer seal you off from that feeling that something is missing. Okay. I wonder if moon in, I would love to hear somebody talk about whether they feel that way for real, as a moon in Capricorn. Because they're making it sound like the moon in Capricorn is just generally going to have a really hard life, emotionally speaking. They'll get by. They will take that negativity or that hardship and build upon it and keep going and moving, but they still feel some kind of way. I can say my second ex, well, I don't know that he was a moon in Capricorn, but he was a sun in Capricorn. He is a sun in Capricorn, and I just felt like I could not. I felt like there was just some kind of a barrier, that just a wall, a stone wall that he just was not gonna let down for that I can go in. He just seemed like he was in there, feeling all sad, feeling a particular way. I sure hope he's not listening to this video because he probably would be offended for me saying this. But I'm just saying, I never felt like I could connect on that kind of level. It's a Capricorn thing. Anyway, but at some stage, the outer trappings that you have built up around you can no longer seal you off from that feeling that something is missing. And it is this very feeling that makes you reluctant to be the outright materialist go getter that you have or could become. Let me read that again. But at some stage, the outer trappings that you have built up around you, okay, the outer trappings that you have built up around you can no longer seal you away from that feeling. Okay, so they build themselves up, they do all of this work, they collect all of this materialism or, social status or whatever to try to protect themselves, but that stuff cannot seal them off from the feeling that something is missing. Something's still missing with all of that, you know? And it is this very feeling that makes you reluctant to be the outright materialist go-getter that you have or could become. So they do all of this. They do all of this go-getting. They try to build that feeling within them up. And this could be something that happens in any sign, to be honest. But for the Capricorn moon, they do all of this. They learn that it doesn't help, that inside stuff, especially with a moon energy. And and they don't even like being that materialistic go-getter, even though they did it. They don't really like it. Is that real? I mean, wow, that's serious. Okay. I'm going to read it one more time. But at some stage, the outer trappings of what you have built up around you can no longer seal you off from that feeling that something is missing, and it is this very feeling that makes you reluctant to be the outright materialist go-getter that you have become. You're reluctant to be it. That's something. That's serious right there. You're not even supposed to be that. So it means then that if you had tapped into that emotional stuff first, you know, dealt with those emotions first, then you wouldn't have become this hardcore emotion. I mean, this go-getter. You may probably have went and got your thing together. And you got your, got your wealth and everything, but you wouldn't have done it because you feel weak spiritually, emotionally. You would have did it because you wanted something. That's serious. As this new type of survivor, you can turn into quite a special sort of human being, I guess, once you understand this, because you manage to combine your childlike charm with strong instincts of how the material world works. So, especially a moon Capricorn's got major karmic work to deal with, huh? And just how it works. Let's see. You discover Let's see. And just how it works, you discover, is built upon that real world within you. Okay, the real world is the real world within you. Moon in Capricorn, the real world within you. Ultimately, and usually after the age of 30, you stand to become an influence over others, okay? Because you are an example of the no nonsense human being who has survived against the odds. If you learn how to deal with that, that sounds like such major emotional work that if you figure this stuff out by the age of 30, you're blessed, you know? That sounds like something you won't figure out until you built up your wealth and surrounded yourself with all your wealth, and then finally realize that that's not it. That ain't it. And for a lot of people, building that kind of wealth takes a little bit longer in this day and age. You know, some people are not going to have all their wealth by the time they're 30, you know, so that they can learn this about themselves. That sounds like the kind of lesson you don't learn until you're my age, you know, because you would have to have went through the work of building your wealth, climbing that ladder, then collecting all the wealth, then feeling, oh my God, that's not quite enough. You go out, get more. Oh, wait a minute. I still need more. I still feel sadness. You know, it's coming. Get more, more, more. Surround yourself all the way around. Then you finally sitting surrounded by all kind of things. Then you say, well, it's still not working. You know, I still don't feel right. That sounds like a lifetime of stuff right there. But anyway, you know, they're saying that the moon in Capricorn is in its detriment. It does not, the moon does not like being in Capricorn. So you have issues, father issues in that sign. Capricorn, okay? But anyway, the transformer in the moon in Capricorn energy, okay? Let me get a little sip of water here. The positives of that moon in Capricorn energy is that you're self-controlled, okay? You're cautious, you're modest, you're reserved, okay? The negatives are you're repressed, you're distrustful, there's always a trust issue, you're self-doubting, and you're inhibited. So the problem could be you're feeling inadequate and unappreciated, lonely and alienated. All right. So the solution could be what you need to keep under control is that voice from the past that says not good enough. You got to keep that voice under control because they're making it seem as though that voice is going to be very generally true for the moon in Capricorn. Okay. Moon in Capricorn. But you know what? Everybody's got that. Not everybody, but lots of people have this voice in their heads telling them they're not good enough, you know? But it really hits hard for Capricorn, okay? Especially the moon in Capricorn. So there are positives, okay? Your positives, moon in Capricorn, are that you are serious, you are disciplined, okay? You are pragmatic, you are prudent, okay? But the negative could be you're depressive, you're austere, you're unimaginative, and you're boring. All right. Okay. You're so focused on what it is that you are focused on that you're only focused on that, I guess. And that looks like boring to other people. That looks like boring to other people. Okay. What's the problem with that? Feeling gray and downcast, unable to see beyond your deeply furrowed brow, your deeply furrowed brow, meaning you got a huge frown on your face, okay? And you can't see beyond that frown on your face. Life is hard, okay? Inside of your head, okay? So what you got to do, seriously consider not taking yourself so seriously. Seriously consider not taking yourself so seriously. Back off of it a little bit, okay? Lighten up a little bit. Humor is a necessity, not a luxury. Okay. Now, for a moon in Capricorn, you must have humor in your life. You got to, like air. You got to have your favorite comedians on deck for you, okay? You got to lift you up, because it seems like that negativity, that whatever that is, will take you down, and it's hard for you to come up. Keep your comedians close at hand, okay? I suggest Richard Pryor, okay, from my era. All right, more positives for achiever. Okay, for the moon in Capricorn, you are achiever. You're hardworking. You're determined and you're shrewd. Okay, the moon in Capricorn. But of course, the negative is that you're a status conscious person. You are a slave to the system, and we do hear that Capricorn is into the rules and regulations and the system and the government and that kind of stuff. You are a slave to the system. Okay, you're cold-hearted and you're crafty. All right. So the problem could be that you're feeling that life is just a meaningless struggle, and you're disillusioned. You're disillusioned because life is just a meaningless struggle. You lose yourself in all of this struggling to reach somewhere, and then once you get there, you don't even feel happy about it. Okay. So what you got to do to break out of that? The solution is when you realize that what you are after cannot be found in the outer world, look within. Okay, so of course what it is that you need is to come to a better understanding of yourself. You got to lift your self-awareness. You got to come to a place of love, okay, of yourself, just like everybody else. Everybody's got to do this, okay? For you, it's very important that you do it, all right? That's what you need to be seeking and crawling and climbing after. Self-respect and self-love, okay? Moon in Capricorn, all right? All right, so more positives, okay? There are positives, okay? You are loyal, you're influential, okay? You're steadfast and you're respected. Definitely you get the respect, okay? But if it's negative, you are sycophantic. Sycophantic. Okay, I'm gonna look that word up real quick, you guys. Wait for me to do this, okay? We want to know what that means.
Here's the definition.
Sycophantic.
Here's the definition of sycophant. A person who acts obsequiously towards someone important in order to gain advantage.
Oh, okay. Sounds like it means butt kissing. That's what it means. Okay, you are sycophantic, name dropper, unctuous, and insincere. Okay, you're just trying to come up to the people who are on that high level and sort of in the negative, and you know, try to get in there. Butt kissing is the easy way to put that. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. The problem is licking others' boots only gets you a kick in the face and a loss of self-respect. Wow, that's a heavy way to say it. Licking others' boots only gets you a kick in the face and a loss of self-respect. Okay, wow, I didn't know it was that heavy. Licking others' boots. That's pretty bad. That's pretty. I guess because it's the moon energy. The moon does not like being in Capricorn at all. Okay, so the solution would be to relate to others in the knowledge that they are after what you are after. Respect. Everybody wants to be respected. You deserve to be respected, moon in Capricorn. You definitely don't need to be licking nobody's boot. I don't care what it is that they do. I don't care if it's Barack Obama. I'm not licking Barack Obama's boots. I don't care who and how high level they are. That's the way you got to be. You got to get your respect too, just like everybody else. Okay, that's no good. Licking others' boots. All right, more positive. Sensitive. You are very sensitive. You are self-sacrificing. That can be dangerous. It depends on how you deal with that. You are efficient as a helper, and you are dignified. But in a negative, you can be insensitive. You can use others, self-serving, and conceited. All right. And the problem is for all your selfish attention to your ambitions, okay, you're still dissatisfied. You're not happy still with all that you've done to develop your ambitions. You're not happy even still. And it just seems like that's the energy. You're going and you're ambitious and you're going, you're climbing, you're doing all kind of things, kissing butts and licking boots and doing all this crazy stuff, and in the end you still ain't happy. Okay, so the solution is to rule truly is to serve. Oh, you got to be in service, but you got to be careful with that too. Improving the lot of others improves your self-image. Okay, when we always know that when people are having hard times with themselves, if they go out and help others, it does wonders for them. It builds their self-esteem back up. Serving others, but not kissing nobody's boots. Not that. Okay, we're not doing that. Okay. So, my people, this has been the reading for Capricorn. I understand that this 4 o'clock hour is going to be that hour where more people are going to come in later and check it all out, and that's beautiful. I'll be expecting that you are going to check the videos out and share these videos, well, this live, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel because more is coming. Okay. Now imagine all those names that I have read might have dealt with these kinds of situations, might have had these kinds of emotions going on inside their hearts. Like little blue ivy. I wonder how, having two extremely uh, powerful and famous parents is. Whenever I see pictures of her, she looks like she's all right. She looks like all is well in her little world. She looked like she's gonna be somebody doing her own thing, and they say she's about to be 9 years old. I can't even 9 years old already. That's amazing. But I hope she's moving forward in her life because a lot of times the stars, the celebrities, their children be going through it, especially the girls. But anyway, my people, this has been Sun and Moon for Capricorn. Thank you all for being here with me once again, and peace to you.